Gene here with G Squared Tactical. What we're going to be reviewing today is a Glock. Sometimes I hesitate to review Glock pistols because, well, you feel like you're a broken record. You're saying the same thing because, let's face it, after all, a Glock is a Glock. And even though they have different generations, there are very, very small changes that are made from one generation to the next. Most of those would be the marksman barrel in the Gen 5, the losing the finger grooves, some of the mag release on the Gen 4 and above are not only swappable, but they're also larger, but they're very, very small, sometimes insignificant almost changes. And so you almost feel like you're not saying anything that people don't already know. But in light of, in the last several years, the 10 millimeter round really surging in popularity. I know that it's been around for some time, but it seems in recent years that everybody wants their favorite manufacturer to make one of their favorite lines of pistols in the 10 millimeter round. A lot of people say, I wish they would make this in a 10 millimeter, so on and so forth. And we just did the review on the M&P 10 millimeter, and we know that a lot of people had issues with that pistol. We have yet to have an issue with it, and there are things about it that I like better than this, I guess, because if you don't like one Glock, you're probably not going to like another Glock, because again, as mentioned, the Glock is for the most part a Glock. But this is the Gen 4 Glock 20 chambered in 10 millimeter. They did make this in the Gen 3, even Gen 3 SF, which basically meant from the back of the grip to the front of the trigger, or front of the rear of the trigger guard, depending on, it just made a shorter pull essentially. You got a better grip on the pistol with the SF, the short frame model. Basically the Gen 4 is the same, it's almost identical. So the Gen 3 that is not an SF, well, it was thicker from here to here essentially. And then they made the SF model that was thinner from here to here. And then when they did the Gen 4, it's almost like an SF model. It's almost identical. So you can get a really nice high grip. Of course, once you put the back strap on here, it kind of negates that, so it doesn't really matter anyway. The Glock 20, I'm assuming in a Gen 3. I'm not sure if they ever had a Gen 2 20. I don't really know, to be honest with you, but I know that they introduced the Glock 20 in 1991. So I guess they seen some need arise. I think probably what it was is the FBI was really considering changing to the 10 millimeter round. I don't think they actually ever did. So, but a lot of manufacturers made a gun offering in a 10 millimeter. I believe probably for that reason. It is a full-size gun, as it needs to be, as 10 millimeter is a very powerful round. And a lot of the Glocks, the parts are, at least in a lot of cases, 50, 60, even 70% compatible with changing out the parts, the sights, etc. The takedown, the slide release. A lot of those items are interchangeable. And one thing about this one is very similar, if not the same, as far as size, dimensions, thickness, etc. as the Glock 21. But this is a thick, full-size gun, as I said, as it needs to be for the powerful 10 millimeter round. And so you will notice from the 19 and the 17, if you were comparing them, that the thickness of the slide, is significant. So you have your hammer forged barrel. This does not have the marksman barrel. It is I think everybody always gets on us for saying things improperly, even though they know what we mean. But it's the polygonal, maybe, barrel. I don't know how to say that. But it essentially is talking about the grooves. Some people say that you need to shoot the jacketed hollow points. If you shoot a lot of lead, it'll gum those up and cause problems. I don't know about you guys, but I don't intend to necessarily do that. I may shoot some of the ones I intend to carry in this gun, but it's probably going to get the same range, you know, full metal jacket range ammo as anything else gets, and I'll just clean it, I guess. But that's what they say. I don't think Glock necessarily says that, but other people do. And so it does have the rear slide serrations, does not have the front slide serrations. It is not indented here at the front of the slide to assist with press checking or anything like that that you may like to do, you know, like the Gen 5. The Gen 5, of course, has that. It does have the finger grooves in the front here, much like you would see on the other generations, minus the Gen 5, of course. I do like the finger grooves on the larger frame, the 21, the 17, of course, the 20, the 40, because they fit my fingers really nicely. It gives me a nice, good, firm feeling, like I have a nice purchase on it. Now, I will say on the 19 and some of the other ones, I like it without the finger grooves because they don't seem to really line up for me. I think they have the 10 millimeter in a subcompact. It's a Glock 29. They have the, which I had that, and it just didn't work for me. My fat sausage fingers, it was hard to hold on to for me, but the powerful 10 millimeter round had a lot of stove piping, etc. They have this in a 40, which is significantly longer sight radius, probably more, I guess, more accurate, I suppose, less recoil. It does have the Glock accessory rail up here, or the one slot like you traditionally see on a Glock. It does have the serrations on the front of the trigger guard, a nice undercut here at the bottom of the grip where it meets the trigger guard here. It does have a nice pattern, a nice grip texture, I guess. It's good for me. I don't really like I like the grip texture on the M&P as far as feeling like a firm, nice grip, but I don't like it in the sense of trying to holster it, as it seems every type of clothing I own will stick to that sandpaper-like consistency on that grip. So I really do like the grip on the Glock pistols. I mean, they're just a solid pistol. I'm not a Glock fanboy. In fact, a lot of times I give people who are a hard time, but we all have to be in agreement that they are a solid build, and it is just a solid pistol. And the reason that a Glock is a Glock is a Glock, that they've kept making them the same exact way, is because, well, it works, and people continue to keep buying them. So I don't know. I'm going to ask the folks that I bought it from. I don't know if this is something new, but my Glock 20 only came with a little push pin tool here, I guess, to push the pin out. And it came with two back straps, both with the extended beaver tail. Some of the other Glock Gen 4 models I purchased had the two back straps that did not have the extended beaver tail. So I don't know. I don't know if they're just missing from this box or if that's something new with Glock. I'm not really sure. It comes in the traditional Glock box with the little cleaning brush here, and of course the lock. And it came with 3 15-round magazines, unloaded. I think I'll put a picture up of it, but I think it's 28.5 ounces unloaded without the magazine. The trigger is the Glock trigger. Not great, but good. Some people think the Glock trigger is great. I don't so much. It does have some sponginess, quite a bit of take up before it hits the wall. And, you know, it breaks nice, no over travel. And the reset, not short necessarily, not great, but good, and very audible. I just I personally would prefer a tactile audible reset over a short reset. That's just me. I'm not a trigger snob. I will get used to it. It is the traditional blade safety or safe action trigger that Glock makes. That's, you know, it works. You know, get used to it. Practice with it. It is a good trigger. It is a good stock trigger. It has a 4.61 inch barrel. I think, say the 1917 models, I think, have a little bit shorter barrel. I some things that I have done to this gun that I don't like. So let's talk about some of the things I don't like. I don't like plastic sights. Anybody that's watched this channel knows that about me. I can't stand it. Like, it's just a huge hang up for me. You know, it was bad enough for me to get used to as a 45-year-old. So I guess in old school, to get used to plastic guns, which I have done, but then throw some plastic sights up there, like, it just completely drives me insane. So I have ordered some steel Ameriglow blacked out rear, orange front night sight for this pistol. And one thing that I do to all of my Glock pistols when I purchase them is that I put the extended slide lock, slide release on here. I cannot manipulate the factory one. With this, I can do it very easy. I like this. I'm not exactly sure where I purchased this from. I think maybe the Glock store. Not exactly sure, but it did not even say on the box that it came in. It did not even say that it was for the 20. It actually had 21, everything but the 20, but it fit on there just fine. It works fine. You know, everything about it is fine. Another upgrade that I make to every Glock pistol within days of purchasing it is I do put the extended takedown. If you've never done that, so much easier. You know, it was already fairly easy to take down, but again, if you have the fat sausage fingers as I do, it can be quite challenging sometimes to keep a grip on that. With these extended takedown levers, it kind of is flush at the top, and it kind of comes down at an angle, gives you a nice grip on there to be able to take this down like flawlessly. I always change the rear slide plate here because again, it's plastic, drives me up the wall. I don't always get one with a skull or a saying on it, but sometimes I get just a plain old black one, but I do always change it. So I changed the slide lock to an extended slide lock. I changed the takedown lever to an extended takedown, and I always change the rear slide plate and the sights on the gun. And so I always put the back strap on with the longest beaver tail, especially on the powerful 10mm round, because it really gives me a nice grip on the gun, gives me a nice hold on it. Overall, I really like this gun. I'm going to take it to the range and shoot it. We're going to see how it does, see if it does better than our M&P. I'm sure all you guys probably think it will because you had better luck with them. One thing I really do like on the Gen 5 is the half moon cutout here, to be able to rip the magazine in the case you may would have to do that. It does have this opening here behind the back of the grip for you to grab in there and grab in the front here and pull it out if you have to. But I always like putting a grip frame insert in here because it just accumulates a lot of trash, so I end up putting that in there. So I do like to have the half moon here, although I will say that I've never had a Glock magazine stick in the frame. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, 16 rounds of 10mm, I don't think you're gonna have to reload, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I hope I didn't miss anything. I hope, again, we haven't shot this, but I promise we are real close. We're real close, probably in the next several days of getting to the range, because we have several guns that we've reviewed. We haven't even got to shoot yet, and that's because we do HVAC work and it's very hot, and we just haven't had a chance. It's a struggle sometimes just to come in here and do this. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please interact with us, comment. We love to hear from you. We love to interact. Everyone gets a response, even if they're ugly with us. And we hope that you guys really enjoyed it. Hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and God bless.